Okay, my name is Clifford Liggins. I'm with the Strugglers Hill Roots Neighborhood Association. Okay, well actually we have a lot of activities that we are always involved with. And one is to increase our neighborhood membership, to communicate with the Hispanic in the neighborhood. Most of our members are elderly, and so we're trying to develop the neighborhood by getting Hispanic members that's moved into the neighborhood. And we've went out with flyers and door to door and had block parties, so on and so forth. Actually, I identify with all of Kansas City, Kansas. I've been everywhere in the community. I actually was born and raised in the area which they might refer to as the hood, but it wasn't that to me. I was born on 9th Street near Sumner High School, which I attended. And I've also lived out west as far as 76th Street. And I eventually moved back down this way, in this area, the Strugglers Hill area that is, which is from on the south from State Avenue going north to Walker Avenue on the east, 10th Street to 13th Street on the west. Strugglers Hill want to develop a diverse neighborhood through education, job development, housing, community action, and policy advocacy. We want to, like I say, build a safe neighborhood that's friendly to everybody, that will serve the needs of the community. Well, safety for one. We have a policing officer that really is interactive with us to keep the streets, try to keep drugs down, try to keep the crime out of the neighborhood. And we want to serve especially the senior citizens in the area. You know, we provide things like smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, fire extinguishers, plus we have a community garden which we grow food and give it to our members and neighborhood members. Strugglers Hill has a whole lot of successes. I didn't join Strugglers Hill until 2006, and I was elected president in 2013. And I'm more or less a newcomer. They got dusk to dawn lights put in some of the alleys. We've had streets paved that otherwise wouldn't have got paved. We put trash cans in certain areas where, you know, people would throw trash. Name a few things. Big 11 Lake, which is in our area, we were instrumental in getting the traffic around the lake. It was a lot of drug traffic and stuff like that around there. Getting signs up so they couldn't park on the streets and stuff like that. So, and also I'm a volunteer with the EPA. And I collect samples for the EPA to test, you know, in order to keep the lake safe for fishing. It's a lot of challenges, like housing for one. It's a lot of vacant lots and housing that needs to be demolished. Actually, we bought several lots in the area, and we wanted to make a playground for some of the kids, like a soccer field. And it's just an ongoing thing to stay vigilant in the neighborhood to keep things up. One thing we've done recently, the gas company came through and put in new gas lines. And, you know, they thought they were through, but what happened was where they put the gas lines in, the grass caved in people's yards. They couldn't even cut the yards. So we went through and took pictures of all this and called the gas company and had a meeting with them along with one of the commissioners and pointed out these things to them, and they graciously did those things and went and corrected those things, but otherwise they probably wouldn't have. Well, we've been having the block parties and so on and so forth. We have a member that's vice president of the Livable Neighborhoods Association. We have former commissioner that, well, he was a counselor back then, they called them counselors. And he's up on the government, plus the Miss Newton, who's the vice president. She keeps us informed on the latest stuff that's going on, and we try to have members to go to the meetings. That it's important to bring back information so that we can communicate this information to the neighborhood and our membership. It's face-to-face. Most of our members are not embracing the technology, so it has to be face-to-face or written or called. We've only had a very few the Hispanic to participate, although we had a block party back in 2013, and we had a whole lot of them to come participate, you know, in that, and it was very successful. We had a video of it and pictures and everything. We recently had, this year we had a garden party, and the participation wasn't too good at all. It bumped up against Juneteenth and some other things, and but we did have minimal participation from the Hispanics, and also the mayor attended, which we thought was great. Well, it's only a few streets that have sidewalks. Now, back in the old days, all the streets had sidewalks. But when they tore down the houses and stuff like that, it were brick sidewalks. They took the bricks. So, you know, the only sidewalks we have now are the school corridor that they had to put in, the city had to put in, and we also have a model block that we got done through the city, which has sidewalks, curbs, new curbs, and refurbishing. But other than that, you know, the streets are pretty bad in that area. It definitely does, especially during the winter. You know, people have to walk in the street, you know, to get through. And on the main streets, just like 10th Street, for instance, the curbs are so bad they're really deteriorating. You know, we just wonder why the city takes so long to refurbish stuff like that. That is a main street that goes through. My favorite experience actually was growing up in the area. When I was a kid, it was always something to do, not a lot of crime, anything like that. You can leave your doors unlocked. And it's like this, it takes a village to raise a kid. And our community down there, that's exactly what happened. The neighbors see you do something down the street, your parents knew about it before you got home, you know, and it kept you in line. And also the schools were, the teachers, you know, they were very accessible for things. You know, they went above their call of duty. And I think that at least my generation, some generations before, really got a good education and a good sound sense of fairness, you know, of life, you know, to how to treat people. A miracle. A miracle. It's just not, it could never be like it was. Probably don't like to mention this, but I grew up at a segregated time. And our community, we had a cross-section of people, rich, poor, educated, uneducated. Like my dad didn't finish high school. My mom, although my mom wasn't from Kansas City, Kansas, my dad wasn't either, My mom graduated from a university, Northwestern University in Illinois. And my dad made a pretty good living, although we were poor. He was a machinist. And I just admired him for being, because he could run the machine he had, plus he knew how to fix all the other machines in the plant. He was a very instrumental man where he worked at. And that inspired me to learn and stuff, you know. So, for us, the community, going back like it was, I don't think it would ever happen again. Not like it was.